Friends, welcome back to the annual celebration of all things Midwest Guilty Gear, the 17th edition of Frosty Faustings, live here in Lombard, Illinois. My name is Glage. I'm here with the veritable Ventini. Nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise. It is fantastic to be here. I'm so excited that we get to kick off Frosty Faustings this year and with some plus R action. You know, we were talking before the block even started about how exciting it is to look back at these older games that are so different than the paradigms that we've come to expect and how much it affects the gameplay, even things like not having a buffer system and being able to see just that level of skill expression as opposed to some of the more, default timing stuff you come to expect in a modern Guilty Gear game.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's the fun of these old legacy games. You know, you're no input buffer, there's going to be scrambles, there's going to be slop, you have to adapt quickly. But there's also so much more room for expression.
Yes.
You know, everybody, it used to be a long time ago, people were like, oh man, Guilty Gear, that's hard. They have FRCs and stuff, but that's the beauty. FRCs are a wonderful mechanic because you get to be so expressive. There are so many ways to spin meter in old legacy Guilty Gear games that you will forget you have them in the middle of a match sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So. There's so much going on. I also feel like, that level of skill expression, it's easy to get intimidated by it, and I don't think that that's the right mindset. Because if you're going up against people at a similar skill level as you, they're also going to be having the same trouble, and it's just a matter of you can keep getting better, and you're not going to get to a point where you run out of things to improve on. So if you're someone who likes to grind, likes to go into training mode, something like Plus R is the perfect way to do that.
Oh yeah, no, one of the original training mode rat games of all time. All high energy air dash style games. Marvel, Guilty Gear, BlazBlue. If you like sitting and developing tech or refining tech, or just making it up, these are the games for you. These are a treat. If you've never tuned in for Legacy Guilty Gear, if you've joined up with Strive, you're a modern Street Fighter 6 player, you're in for a good time. Things get wild here, and it's early. We're all still waking up. Our players are going to be waking up.
That's the real test.
It's a Midwest celebration. I'm sure people were celebrating last night, so we'll see who's ready for their 10 a.m. pool and who might be a little groggy to get things started.
I'm not going to name any names.
Fun.
I saw some surprising names out at 1 a.m. last night. I'm like, okay, I guess you got this.
Oh, yeah.
You better be nice with it.
No, we do our thing here in the Midwest. It's cold. What else are we going to do with our time?
Exactly.
But
we got to get ourselves warm one way or another.
Exactly. So.
Ooh, he got the bling.
All right. We're starting off early. I like it. I like seeing an early morning fit to kick off a pool. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, the belt as well. Those things matching a little bit.
All right.
That's crazy.
All right. I can dig the. Wow, we got the whole system. We're still going. How many pockets does my man have?
Well, my man, he's straight out of the franchise with that one. That's insane.
All right, so it looks like we are starting off the morning with Saru taking on Sunny. So this is always fun for me. I know a lot of Legacy Guilty Gear players, but you always see new faces at a major like Frosty Faustings. So, all right, so let's see. Are we button check? Are we actually getting main character mirror match to start the day? Because that's going to be a hell of a way to kick
we're talking about
off.
Waking up at 10 a.m. Let's see who's got those Sidewinder loops.
Oh, we're going.
Oh, we're going. Okay,
all right. So Grand Viper into burst. That's what I'm talking. All right, it is officially a Frosty Faustings now, friends. We are going.
Welcome to Guilty Gear, everybody. So exciting to see. And honestly, nice high-octane match to get us going as well. You got to wake yourself up somehow, right?
Exactly. All right, goes into FAP here. Earns a burst out the gate there, so.
Ooh, just stuck in the corner here. It's so hard to get out of the corner in this game. Right into the super, spend that meter. Yep. Evening it up pretty quickly here, forcing a lot of FD just for the defense.
Nice conversion off counter hit Gunflame. Of course, counter hit Gunflame, something you don't want to eat. You don't want to eat a single counter hit from Soul in this game. It hurts every time it happens. Bandit Bringer. That's going to be OTG drop. No punish on.
Ooh, with the low.
All right. And jump slash takes it in.
Well, that was fast.
That's something you're going to get used to real quick here. Plus R is not a slow game, friends. We get moving early in the morning.
I like the little mindset there. Both of them taken to the air the second time around. I don't want to deal with whatever chicanery is going on the ground. Let's just take flight, fight it out like the old men that we are.
Yep.
Yeah, hold that.
All right. Solid back in the corner. Nice. VP. All right. Gets knocked down. What are we doing? Meaty Gunflame. No confirm on the follow-up. Jump H. Always a good button to hit if you're unsure of Soul. If you're in the air, just jump H, jump P. It don't matter. You're good. Tyrant Rage. Nothing doing. All right.
So much pressure, the Gunflame, the 5Ks, everything you got to think about here. And then just the defensive play as well here, keeping him from getting out of the corner by just spacing out with that FD.
Yep. All All right, go for the dust loop. A little too far out for that to reach off the forward punch. Whoop, out, counter hit, Bandit Bringer into Sidewinder. Quite enough, not yet. All right, so Saru got a little life.
Run up deep. I love it.
Oh, another
right
drop.
back.
Gets the burst out of it. Bandit Bringer over Gunflame. Not quite enough to drop, and it looks like Sunny going to take our first game.
Look, you're not a sole bad guy player if you don't DP in neutral at least once. You got to try it.
I mean, this is a game where you have the ability to run up in your opponent's face, have one of the biggest iframe moves in the game, and then just spin meter and be like, you don't get to punish this. And also, you're in a mix-up now.
I was talking to someone about the ultimate meta last night. You just run up, jump.
Yeah, that sounds crazy, but there are situations in a legacy game like this where that will absolutely catch someone sleeping.
It's like they're so ready. It's like, oh, he's going to run up and try to throw me or something. Catch me trying to hold back. Nah, just run up, jump.
So yeah, Sunny off to another good start. Wow, interrupts the Bandit Bringer with Jump S, anti-air 5K, I like it. Dashes in, and Sunny looking good right now, already on set point.
It's so hard to steal the momentum back. I feel like it's such a high-octane match like this. There you go, the Gunflame jump right over it, stagger him, going for the throw as well, and immediately back on the defense. We going high, catch him with the low, just back and forth at this point.
All right, says, I'm done with that. Let's wake up DP, but gets counter hit when the Gunflame misses. Doesn't shake out a Fafner. Okay. No punish on the Tyrant Raid. Actually a pretty difficult super to punish if you aren't familiar with it. All right.
So many sweeps.
Yep. Gold Burst, spending that 25% on the Force Break.
Okay, that's the DP for your life right there. Spending a lot of meter, but now he's got himself back in the corner. That is so rough, and look how little tension he's got left.
Yep. All right. Saru trying to make a comeback here. Sunny trying to close out the set. Counter hit Gunflame, should have enough, and that'll do it. Sunny takes this one 2-0, and we are officially off and running here at Frosty Faustings 17.
Good stuff to Sunny, closing it out in style there.
Yeah,
This
is what I love about this tournament. Like, you see people who are learning the game, like still, getting a feel for the game, getting a feel for how Legacy Guilty Gear plays. That's the beauty of fighting games, the beauty of the FGC. There's no qualifiers. There's no got to earn your right. Put your money on the table, sign the bracket, you're in. Like, anybody gets to do this. That's what's the most beautiful part of these games. And it's really fun. I've been doing this for 22 years, and seeing new players in a game that I've been playing for 2 decades, if you can't tell, I'm old, it's a treat. It's really cool to see people still picking up a game whose series started in 2002.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The XX series started over 20 years ago.
And we're still here. We're still getting netcode updates, and the most recent is the last few years. Look, we'll get a toupee for you. We'll put you in the bracket. No one will be any otherwise.
It's all good. It's just easier. This is the only time of year it really bothers me, because let me tell you,
it's cold.
I was not used to not having hair and then going out to walk the dog. I'm like, oh, right, I live in the Midwest. This is unfortunate.
I stepped off the plane. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
I see how it is.
It is definitely January in the Midwest right now.
I thought Seattle was cold this time of year. Yikes.
All right, so up next, it looks like we're going to have TheDoubled taking on Scoops. So Scoops, I know, is fairly local to these parts. Double coming out of Colorado. Colorado used to have a big scene back in the early XX days. Yeah, we used to get a lot of people traveling out to Chicago, Nebraska, Missouri for old games. So cool to see the Colorado scene still alive, coming out to play some Legacy Guilty Gear. It looks like we're getting ready to go in. All right, what do we got? So we have
here. Okay,
Ky versus Venom. This is fun because these two characters have a lot of similarity in what they want to do. They both have incredibly good buttons for controlling space and neutral. Once they knock you down, they get to put their toys on top of you, make you hold a mix. And right out the gate here. All right.
Yeah, that Oki setup is always going to be so scary from Venom. I always feel like whenever I'm up against this character, half the time I just have no idea what's going on. Like, do I block high? Do I block low? I don't know, but I'm definitely getting hit on my wake up.
All right, 5D catches.
Okay.
Gonna get some solid damage out of this. OTGs to force the corner back. Little trade. All right. Force corner. Ooh, whiffs the DP though. All right. Opts to burst.
I always love that burst to hold your opponent into the corner. It's such a strong position to get yourself into, and we're going up super high with another dust combo here, closing it out.
All right, Scoops takes round one. I like seeing, this is something I'm a big fan of. When you hit someone with a 5D, Don't stop there. Do it. Make them prove they can block it. Make them prove you can do something about it.
Yeah, he did it twice.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of especially high offensive games like Guilty Gear. Have your litmus test. Can they block the overhead? Can they block this tick throw setup? And if they can't, that's a them problem. Don't solve their problems for them. So I like seeing stuff like that, as we see there. I blocked your 5D. Okay, I like it. We're going back and forth. A little shimmy into green setter. I like it. All right.
Finally an opportunity for the double to try to set up here with these pool balls, but it just, I feel like the defense from Scoops is so strong against those. Even getting hit there, but it's a little bit too little, too late, and now you're back in the corner.
5D.
Okay.
5D Roman cancel 5D. Now we're just making it up, which is the best part of Guilty Gear.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. No, I love seeing stuff like this. These characters are so fun. I love anytime Venom is on screen. I've said this for years. Venom is the single most malleable character ever made in a fighting game. You can take 6 Venom players and watch 6 different play styles all happen right in front of your face.
It's beautiful.
So we'll see if the double can make an adjustment here and get going.
He had to spend that burst almost immediately, finally forcing one out of Scoops here, setting up that fireball game. So hard to deal with, such a strong set of tools that Scoops has, and using them really well to just keep the double locked down right now.
Yeah, I like what Scoops is doing here. It's playing at Kai's kind of max range poke. All right, wake up, ride the lightning, looking for the run. Gets chucked for the trouble though.
The classic.
All right, I like it. Keep it simple. Do the setup. Nothing doing there. Force break.
Playing a little bit of ping pong with these pool balls. Trying to get the extension there. Not able to quite get it. Scoops answering back. Both of them on such a fragile amount of health here. And it's Scoops who manages to get the poke out.
The classic. You're looking for that last little bit of life. Throw out a far S. It'll usually get you there if they're not paying attention. And Scoops already on set point here.
You see Double just trying to just hold back, set up at least one pool ball, saying, please, just let me get my offense started for once in this set.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, far edge, stun edge. Green Saber a little too far out. Catches another stun edge. I like the run up 6P trying to catch a tech there.
Okay.
All right, little off on the Oki timing. Chance to punish. I like this. That's a great punish. I like not taking knockdown. We're going to the corner, getting our combos.
Yeah,
trying to hold down. All right.
Catches the super. He used that.
Do it again.
Let's go.
Scoops has definitely gone to the Guilty Gear school of do it again, and I respect it.
When in doubt, double down.
Yep. All right.
We did see that gold burst, by the way, coming out from the double, so he's got a lot of meter to work with, but once again, it's too little too late.
Yep. Nice attempt there from the double. Scoop's going to take this one 2-0. Again, I really like that use. Kai is an interesting character in Plus R because his kit, especially just in practicality, is amazing. He has multiple godly anti-airs, really good pokes at range. The only thing he doesn't have is high damage. He has to really make you hold it. You have to have a crank guard bar if you really want to hit people for what most characters would consider average Plus R damage. So Kai can be really infuriating to fight because he's hard to get in on. He has
those fireballs.
Yeah, he has just enough mix-up. He can play a little bit of a Shoto-style game. A lot harder to do in a game like Guilty Gear where anyone can air dash whenever they damn well please. But you saw there a lot of tip far S, a lot of tip 5H, and then that 6P, the elbow, the people's elbow, classic Kai move. I really like that style. Like, it's just, you know what? We both want to do the same thing, but I don't need to set projectiles to start my game plan. I can just use my buttons. You saw the doubled was kind of having a hard time getting the pool ball set because Venom has good pokes too, but there's very little reward on just hitting a far S from Venom with nothing behind it.
Exactly.
You got to have something. You either have to have a stinger aim charge and be able to FRC it, which takes a lot of, hit confirmability and awareness to do. So really smart. Just like, I'm going to poke you, I'm going to keep you in place, use a little meter, and then we'll get a little silly. We'll ride the lightning. That didn't work. I'd do it again. I got meter left.
I feel like we saw a lot of what you're talking about, the struggling with getting the pool balls started. The doubled could not find a way to use the pokes to break through the defense to allow those pool balls to even be a mix-up. I think that was part of the key. The positioning at which they were coming out, you were too far away to threaten those slashes like you're talking about. So they bounce off the screen, maybe they get hit once, but there was just no combo ability off of it. You're back to neutral, and that's where Kai was thriving.
Yeah, and we saw even when the double got a couple knockdowns, you'd see the pool ball set, but just a little off on the timing to make it hit meaty and hold the knockdown there. And that's, you can tell, it's cool seeing people who they get, the game plan is there. You can see they understand what their win conditions are, what their strengths are of the character, but they're still learning, still trying to get the timings down. And again, in a legacy game like Guilty Gear, there's not a lot of cute things you can do, like a frame kill on your Oki. It's, no, you got to know, I set this, I have to jump at this point in time. There's not a lot to really buffer this or do anything special to time it. It's just practice, practice, practice. And that's the cool part. Because even the best players, you're going to hear this all day throughout Plus R, even the best players in this game, when we get to grand finals later tonight, you're going to see mistakes. You're going to see drops. And that's the beauty of these legacy games.
I like that you mentioned the frame kills especially, because first of all, if you want to frame kill in this game, you have to be like frame tight on your frame kill, which defeats the purpose. And we saw that a little bit with the Soul Bad Guy mirror, right? You've got the classic, if you play Strive, the Gunflame feints on every single Oki setup.
Yeah.
Did not see something like that once in that mirror match.
Yeah, and for those of you who are maybe tuning in early, if you've never watched Legacy Guilty Gear, if you're only familiar with Strive, there's a lot of notable differences. A lot of them are pretty obvious. You know, you're not seeing people get their wall break and all that good stuff. But what's important to note is this is an old school throw game. Throw is on a single button. It's on hard slash. It starts up on the first frame.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
crazy.
You have to be very careful on people's wake up. It's one of the best reversals of the game. If you do something and it's not designed to bait a throw, you will get chucked if you're not prepared for it. And that throws people off. Well, people are used to, you know, being able to go up. It's like, I knocked you down. This is my show. Yeah, I might have to deal with reversal. Yeah, I might have to deal with you maybe waking up and mashing a button. But in games like this, it's like, no, you have to deal with the fact that you're in throw range. You better play in your Oki right and playing around it. Yeah, absolutely. And same thing with your pressure. You leave a one-frame gap, or if someone instant blocks and you leave what you think is a +2 gap, you're too close, you can get chucked. It's a big thing for people to get used to in these old Legacy Guilty Gear games.
It looks like we've got an interesting matchup coming up, by the way. We got Pida and Wii Sports, and Pida from the Czech Republic.
All right, all the way across.
So we're going
the
around the world. Yeah, it's going to be a
cool.
real interesting one. Look, if I'm up against someone in my round one and they're from another country, it's like, I'm cooked. You know what? Do we even got to play it out?
Those are always fun when you see people come from across the world and maybe from an area where you aren't familiar with the scene. I definitely, even today, I'm not super up to date on the Eastern European Plus R scene. I know there's a ton of them that play it because if you've got a PC that can run a potato, you can play Plus R.
It's the Counter-Strike of fighting games.
And if you've got $3 in your pocket, you can buy Plus R. And spoilers, if you don't, just go to the Plus R Discord. I guarantee you someone will gift it to you within the first 5 minutes of you being there. Like, everyone is happy to get people involved in Plus R. But
speaking of which, if you are looking just in general, check out the Plus R Discord. Very helpful group of people. They've been grinding in there all week. It's been great to see.
Yeah, absolute wealth of information. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Character-specific channels, the whole nine. Absolutely. If you're
and it's like the basic guides as well.
Yep. All right, so we're going into like Pida is going to be playing Axel. Axel vs. Soul. This is a classic XX style matchup. Of course, Axel very good at playing at range, has the long range chain pokes. This is a bit of an annoying matchup for Bad Guy. If he can get in, Axel does have to deal with some mix-up, has to hold guard, but getting in is the hard part. So we'll see how well Pida can hold this off.
Axel just has such a fun design in this game. If you look at the Dust Loop page for Plus R for Axel, the first line is, and I quote, "Axel is a dork." And we all love him for that.
Absolutely. Everybody's favorite time traveling dork before play coach. I like the run under into the unblockable. Very clean from Pida there. I like what I'm seeing. Almost textbook. Keep Soul out. But that's what's cool about Axel is you look at Axel like, oh, this is Guilty Gear Dulcim, or this is Guilty Gear, you know, Zoner Supreme. The difference with Axel is if Axel gets you catching sitting there long enough, he'll go in and can run a game on you.
Yeah, it's terrifying. He gets you in the corner, and it's just as threatening as everybody else. Like, he's got his weaknesses, you know, maybe not the best mix-ups, maybe a little bit has to worry about those throws we were talking about more than some other characters. But on the other side of things, look at how he can run his offense.
Yeah, I love this. Using 3P to great success here. It's a load that reaches at range, and it will clash with Volcanic Viper at that range. So a wake-up DP is not a threat if you space it out right. And Pida seems to have the spacing down.
Shutting out Wii Sports so hard right now. My man, he did not play the boxing game in Wii Sports. He is not dodging and weaving nearly enough right now.
Nice FRC, holds the pressure down, and Pida with a pretty convincing 2-0 to start off. I want to see Wii Sports kind of playing the RPS a little bit more. You got to be willing. even if you get anti-aired out of it, you have to be willing to show Axel players, I will air dash at you out of nowhere to see if you're poking with 2S, if you're poking with Rasengeki. So.
I didn't notice at the end of the last round, Wii Sports had like no tension left. All of it was being spent on defense. Yeah. And there we go, speaking of defense, the burst getting called out there. Pida on an absolute tear right now. Will not let you breathe. Hold that.
95% life lead. Rasengeki closes it out, and Pida already on set point. You're seeing at that ability from Axel to go in and out. Yep, catch with the 5P. And you mentioned it. Wii Sports out of meter a lot. This is the thing against Axel. If you go to the air at all, you have to faultless defense. If you do not hold FD, all these buttons are considered grounded normals. And that guard bar, this is going to hurt.
Oh, no.
Not even
Finally.
Yeah, not even a full confirm, and it still did 50%. The counter, yep.
It was,
bounces over on the trade. I like the idea.
There from Wii Sports to get out of the corner. I was noticing a lot of times Pida is going for those anti-airs immediately on the wake up in the corner. So Wii Sports just, I'm going to run in on you. Hold this wild throw. Finally, we're seeing some sidewinders.
All right, we're getting a full sidewinder combo. I like it. Make it hurt. Get the knockdown.
We didn't get to see any of those last time. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah. Sidewinder combos take a lot of work. They're very character specific. All right. Wii Sports trying to stay alive, but Pida goes up and gets the air throw, and that is going to do it. And our Czech Republic coming in strong with a 2-0.
It was nice to see finally by the end there, Wii Sports was starting to get some stuff figured out. Look, he warmed up the hamstrings, he did his stretches, he's ready to go with those sidewinder loops, but it was just so hard to get that started. That's been kind of the name of the game in this bracket so far. One player just being so much more comfortable in the neutral game, so it's not even a matter, like your punish game doesn't come into account at all at that point.
Yeah, again, we mentioned it earlier, this is a fast game. You're seeing it live and in living color, but one of the byproducts of it being a fast game, you have way less time to get your hands going and to get adaptability going. If someone senses a weakness and they start exploiting it, by the time you start correcting that, sometimes you're already, staring down set point. Like, that's the interesting part of kind of these faster, you get punished hard in this game for mistakes. You saw it there. The one time that Wii Sports sits there is like, let me just chill. Let me hold the corner. I'm going to try and FD you out. And then you get a little too passive, and all of a sudden you look up, you see a flashing wrist gauge, you're like, oh no.
Oh, he caught me blocking.
I have erred in judgment. All right, that's fine. I just don't need to get opened up. Yeah, not getting opened up in old Guilty Gear is definitely an easy thing to do.
I apologize for my severe and continuous lapse in judgment for this entire round. I am so sorry. Hold this mix.
Really, again, that's the cool part, that there's so many elements in Plus R, in all of Guilty Gear, that encourage you to not be too passive. Negative penalty is a massive hit to your game plan in this game. Losing all your tension gain for a very long duration. You block too much, you end up with a cranked wrist gauge. And most characters in this game, if they see your wrist gauge cranked and they open you up, it's gonna hurt. So we are moving on. Nostalgia Crit taking on
RageOfLeoEX?
LeoEX. I'm gonna go with that.
We'll just call him Rage.
That works, but
we got
Robo-Ky
Rage and we got
versus Axel. This is not a common matchup, so this is going to be fun to see.
I love Robo-Ky so much. Such a goofy character, such a unique character, and already showing, like, I don't care what your tier lists say, check out this sauce.
Of course, Robo-Ky has a very unique meter mechanic, has to build his meter, which improves his special moves, but as his special moves level up, they also cost meter to use. So there's a constant balance of the meter game, as well as you see right there, the heat gauge. If you use too many special moves, don't use one of the moves that exhausts your heat gauge down, mainly the steam with 6H, then you blow up.
They really said, I feel like 1 meter is not enough for this character. Let's double down. So much to think about with this character. I'm very impressed by people who can pilot this character well, but as we've been talking about this, Nostalgia Crit has turned this round around, almost bringing it back.
Yeah, unfortunate drop there on the Axel Bomber loop. Robo-Ky is one of the heaviest characters in the game. He can be very obnoxious to combo if you haven't practiced your character-specific combos. We saw there, chance to close it out, but ended up with the drop. So Rage gets round one here in our first game and has the corner and is holding it down.
Able to get that mat out in the corner as well. Finally, Crit is able to get out. Instead, he just gets staggered for his troubles. Okay, now we're swinging, but it just feels like all of the big hits are on Rage's side.
Yep, I'm going to close that. I love that. That's so smart. Nostalgia Crit didn't have burst there, but if he did, it would not have mattered. That was a command grab into a super. All of that is unburstable. Really, really important to learn how to close out rounds, how to do guts crushes with things that are unburstable. That really helps close out games for you. It gives your opponent no chance for that last-second desperation comeback. So really smart, good show of the knowledge there from Rage, and earns that 1-0 lead in this set.
I appreciate seeing Crit taking a deep breath after that first game. It's so easy, especially with a game that loads this fast, to just mash and you're not even thinking about it, and all of a sudden you have no game plan going into game number 2. However, this time around, Crit able to get that burst going early and immediately pressing the advantage with a good defense, answering back, getting a combo started back to neutral.
Yeah, Rage opts to poke with 2S, gets the counter hit. Missile comes back down. We got the level up. We got a lot of meter to play with. Right, the pony into the super, earns the corner, drops the mat. Oh, little mistime on the command grab, but
going so high, manages to get out of the corner, turning things around, but the same thing as last time where it looks like Crit's finally getting started. Flex finds that cheeky little poke to close out the round.
Yeah, no, big starter there for Nostalgia Crit. Probably could have ended the round, but the drop allows Rage to go on set point already.
Those meters looking dicey. Watch out, my man's getting hot and spicy right now.
I like just beating with low. All right, goes over the 2S, very nice. Poke with Rasengeki, yep, hold down. All right, that missile is gonna come back. Wait for it, good, like the patience. Opts to burst on the 5H. Burst back, I don't want to be in the corner. Respect the decision making. Nice confirm. Force break to extend, beautiful.
How much can you get off of this? Once again, out of resources. Flex has been on the cusp of that overheat, out of meter for so long, but he manages to find the exact timing he needs there.
Yeah, and you saw right there, that is the difference between finishing your plate and dropping it on the floor. We saw it multiple times. Really big starters there multiple times for Crit, but you got to convert them. You got to make those counter hits count for real. And you drop against players who know their stuff, you're probably going to pay for it.
Yes, absolutely. It was really fun also in that set, seeing the two different styles of Axel play that we've gotten so far. One that really stood out to me was the way that the corner pressure defaulted. This time around we see the immediate like straight pokes, keep him honest, no hard reads, just kind of stuff out those standard options. Whereas last time around it was a lot of, I think you're gonna jump, I'm just going all in.
Yeah.
And if you get it right, you're a genius. If you get it wrong, then get out of the corner.
Yeah, that's the vice to virtue of playing a character like Axel, is you have some of the best screen control in the game because it doesn't require a special move. It doesn't require a dizzy summon or a Faust item. It's just, I hit button, I own this part of the screen now. But it's a commitment. Axel has massive recovery on his normals as a response to that to kind of balance out the risk reward. So when you're guessing right, when you're playing the RPS right in neutral, you feel good. This first time somebody gets in on you and you whiff a normal, even if it's just a 5P, that's a scary place to be. And you see, it's nice to see these Axel players are like, okay, let's start slow. A little safe poke here. I'm at range. Even if you call this out and air dash over it, you're probably not going to get a counter hit. I might have to hold it on defense a little bit.
Yeah, at least you get another chance, right?
But then they earn the corner. It's like, all right, cool. It's my turn to run shop now. And that's the fun part about a character like Axel is you earn the corner, but you don't have to be up in their grill to hold the corner. You don't have to sit there and be like, oh, man, this bad guy has 50% and probably knows what a DP is. No, I'm just going to sit all the way back here, throw a couple pokes.
Exactly.
I see you sit. Okay, cool. 6H, I'm back in, reset my pressure, and it puts them in a very difficult situation where they're fighting the mental stack. It's like, all right, what's next? Is he going to FRC Rasengeki? Is he going to just dash up and throw me? Which is a thing you'll see a lot of Axel players do when they earn the corner because people get scared. It's like, if I try and jump out, I might get 2S. If I get 2S counter hit, that's going to be a lot of my life because I'm in the corner. So always cool to see those kind of adjustments. I really like seeing players play to the strengths even when you have a massive advantage. It's very easy when you earn a corner in an old game like this to go, I basically just get to do whatever I want. I'm in control. And that is true to an extent, but then
they wake up throw, they wake up DP.
You get wake up thrown in the corner, you leave a gap in your pressure, get interrupted. You know, bad guy has 50% meter, he decides to let it rip. If you get counter hit Volcanic Viper by the corner, he's going to run under you and do a dust loop. It's going to hurt. So
another Soul player coming out here with Barbar and Zuki, who maybe not across the pond, but we're going up even further north, extra frigid. We got a Canadian representation.
So Barbar, a player I'm familiar with, played quite a few sets with him on +R Online. Really solid Soul, knows his conversions. So expect these hits to hurt when they're converted. And as I said, already a 70% life lead ticks into wild throw.
Ooh, well, there you go. Get those sidewinders started. You're talking about making it hurt. This is the way to do it. Closing it out almost there. Air recovery going to put you in a decent spot, but immediate aggression again from Barbar. Just air dash back in. Hold this cross-up mix.
Yeah, really
and just
good.
in case, the super.
Yep, really good conversions there, making the most of it. All right, let's see if Zuki can make an adjustment here. This is another classic matchup. Johnny can out-poke Soul in quite a few situations, but not always to the level of convertibility that he would like. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Wow, gets crossed up on the Bandit Bringer, or might have ducked at the last second. All right, nice anti-air with the 5H, turns the corner.
I feel like he's not able to get too much off of these coins. The misfighter is just not even a factor because once again, Barbar is holding down the neutral.
Yeah, we saw a baited burst there, so Zuki going to struggle to get a burst back at all, but Barbar going in. Grand Viper, we have the confirms, absolutely. Able to escape, all right. Misfighter, all right, we got some loops. A little bit of life here for Zuki.
Okay. We're back in this.
Doesn't bait the reversal Riot Stomp, though, and not enough to OGD for the kill. Trying to chip it out, and I like it. Really, really smart there from Barbar. Old school Guilty Gear, you're not faultless defensing. You don't put that green shield up. You take chip damage. I like just, I'm going to throw all my meter right now and see if I catch you letting off faultless defense.
Yeah, because you can only hold that for so long. You're burning through tension
Absolutely.
at a rapid rate in this game. It's such an important part of your neutral, that FD. And the coin going over Barbar's head, that's so unfortunate for Zuki because you got the idea, just not quite the spacing.
Yeah, that's the thing Johnny has to be really careful about a character like Soul. Soul is willing to just 6P in neutral because it's a massive reward if it hits. Saw that just kind of doing a good check at max range, goes under the coin, and now Barbar just running shop.
I see a couple times now where I think Barbar is trying to get the reads on the air recovery timings, and Zuki's just letting it rip, like, please get me out of here. And he's not ready for that level of just escape desperation.
Chance to convert off level 3 Misfinder, doesn't get a lot off it, and Barbar back in. Force break Fafnir, and already on set point. I think every single one we have gone straight 2-0 to a set point. So
these guys are trying to get to day 2.
Yeah, let's see if Zuki can turn the tide, gives a real set going here. But right now Barbar looking very dominant. But early burst earned for Zuki, so a little bit of advantage there.
Does get in.
When in doubt, jump H. When in doubt, jump H.
Such a good button. However, there we go. There's that throw we're talking about. However, Barbar getting right out of the corner. We see the JH again. Air dash in, gets caught by the super.
All right, say Johnny's name and takes the knockdown. All right, good bait on the reversal, but that is the problem. You block that reversal and then you get gripped. Suzuki does get out of the corner, but loses that advantage. All right, we have conversion. No, just going to take the corner. Nice use of down forward heavy to call out the Riot Stomp. Okay. Oh, got a chance for another conversion. Nice 6P, though. Unable to close it out. That's a big drop. Will Barbar take a bit?
Oh, no, he had the read, but then he mistimed the punish.
Yeah, baits the burst, but does not get the punish. Oh, wow. Goes in Jackhound. Scramble a little bit, trying to close this out. All right, 2H. Zuki has some life here, still alive.
We're in this.
Yeah.
Barbar did just get burst back. Wasn't able to use it in that last round. It was like the last hit of the round that gave it to him. Throw, though, to get the startup. However, able to get out with that air recovery timing just right from Barbar, going for the DP, and now we're back to this air dash game. So hard for Zuki to deal with that because he's trying to set up this coin pressure.
Yep. Barbar going to opt to spin some meter, get the good starter in the corner. Clearly has been practicing those sidewinder loops, gets the maximum with a knockdown, and we're back in, and Barbar looking to close this out. All right, dead angle, Zuki on the last legs here, and gets the DP. Barbar gonna take this 2-0.
Hit you with a good morning.
Good adjustments there. I like what Zuki was trying to do, kind of got a better feel for the spacing, but again, just gotta convert. Mistakes are going to happen. Again, this game has no input buffer, friends. Like, you're going to make errors. The best of the best make errors in this game. But if you drop 3 conversions in a row, that's real hard to recover from in a game like Plus R. Real difficult.
This game is not forgiving by any stretch of the imagination. We're talking about it earlier, just like things like the timing precision. But then on the other side of it, if your opponent's got it down, you just blow up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing with a game like Plus R is, everybody knows relative character strengths and like, oh, this character's really strong.
Yeah,
Maybe this character isn't quite that good. In Plus R, it doesn't matter. Like, if you look at Soul Bad Guy's matchup chart, you're not going to see a lot of, oh, this is my favor on that chart. But if you get hit by a counter hit from Soul Bad Guy, I don't care what part of that chart you're on, you just lost 60% of your health, you're knocked down, and he built a ton of meter, you're in a bad spot. So that is the amazing part of an old legacy game like this.
Right, and we saw Robo-Ky earlier, right? And my man, he was clapping people up.
Yeah. That's the, this, the running gag, like, oh, Guilty Gear, the high damage game, and it's like, yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Like, that's not a meme. It is in modern terms because everything has to be a meme in the year of our Lord 2025.
I feel like that idea of balancing by overtuning everything has really been a popular discussion point lately, because we're seeing that in some games where the general strategy is, well, if everybody's broken, it's the Incredibles. Nobody's broken.
Yeah. And I've always been, I grew up, I came into the FGC playing Guilty Gear XX, playing the XX series. And that was always the cool part. Is like, you might hear like, oh man, this character is just so bad in this version. They just don't have good options, or buttons aren't good enough, whatever. And then you will have some random player from their local scene somewhere across the country show up at your major playing a character that you don't know anything about, and you get smoked. Like, you see tech you've never heard of, you see conversions you've never even imagined, because, again, that's the cool part about these old legacy games. There's so much freedom of expression, especially with the old Guilty Gear meter system. Between FRCs, Roman cancels, force breaks, overdrives, everything. You have so many ways to alter your playstyle, to alter your character's strengths, and try and do things that maybe on paper aren't the most optimal, or aren't the most like, oh, this is how you play in a safe range. It's about how you get to your win condition. It's about how you pilot your character to maximize your ability to get a win. And sometimes that means going off script. And again, in a game like this where scrambles are guaranteed in Plus R, it's going to happen at least somewhere
you're going to drop something.
Yeah.
You're going to get sauced up a little bit. You're going to have an opportunity to get that crazy 6P read or that throw into some sort of combo starter.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's just never let optimal get in the way of good enough.
Absolutely. Yeah. And don't worry. It's real easy to get caught up in the numbers game in fighting games. It's like, oh, but if I do this, there's a gap, or I'm only plus X, or they have meter that can interrupt. Well, yes, that's called fighting games. That's what it's all about. Now, how do you adapt to that? And sometimes your adaptation just comes down to make a read, make a guess, improv, and that's what makes these games so fun, so interesting to watch. Is it's never going to play out by the numbers. It's never going to play out the textbook way every round. You might have a round here and there where, Million knocks you down, run shop, and that's a wrap. But that's the exception,
yeah, sometimes
not the
it just
rule.
kind of happens. And we saw a little bit of like what you're talking about with the idea of the theoretical matchups versus what actually happens. We've been seeing that all day, where what has really mattered is not who has the perfect, most polished punish game, who has an option that is particularly good at dealing with X or Y thing from their opponent. It's been who can run the neutral, who can run those scrambles that you're talking about, because they've been happening all day, and get their game started.
Yeah.
They have the opportunity to actually start using their win condition, so it doesn't matter what the other person's win condition is if it just never comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. These old games, these are the definition of any given Sunday, and that's literally every single round you experience that. So,
we got a matchup here.
We got a. All right. So, okay, I should have known this. sweetxjam. Okay, so sweetxjam and G.Viper played both these players online, both very proficient with their characters. I'm gonna be real with you all, friends. A.B.A. players do not like this matchup, and there is a very good reason for that. Getting into Moroha mode is all well and good, but when you can't actually get to the character to make them block your obscene buttons, that is a problem.
Yeah, and I think A.B.A. is the most win condition based character in the game, in my opinion. Like, if you have to get Moroha mode going, you have to get Goku Moroha mode going, and if you don't, you can't win.
Yeah, it is a very interesting, unique character. There's nothing quite like old A.B.A. And in fairness, there's nothing quite like Plus R Justice. Someone, Pachi and friends, back when they were making Plus R, said, we should get these boss characters back in the game. Well, Justice has a double air dash and a triple jump and buttons. How do we fix that? I don't know. What if we just make it so she thrives entirely on eliminating fun from the game?
This character is something very special to the Guilty Gear series. You will not see a game make a character like this in the year of our Lord 2025.
You will never see this again, period.
It's just not happening.
Like,
we've seen Grand Blue like kind of come close with a couple of characters, but it is nothing like this.
Yeah. Right, so sweetxjam is in there in Moroha mode, Goku Moroha mode for that
matter. Meter though, with the meter.
Yep. Gonna have to opt out, but gets hit by the jump H. G.Viper gonna take
yell.
round 1. And you're seeing like this is a very simple game plan. There's not a lot we have to overanalyze on this one.
Yeah.
A.B.A. needs to get into Moroha mode and needs to get on top of Justice. That is it. It's the only way this works.
Oh, the backdash! Yeah. The discount at home Potemkin backdash.
Yeah.
You always forget how good it is until it's too late. We get a key grab this time though, so that's going to help, especially in a slow matchup like this, because you have the opportunity to go into Moroha more than once.
Yep, but already one knockdown, a third of that meter goes away, and in the corner with the nukes coming, and this is where it really struggles for A.B.A. I like this, just using super, just like, nah, I'm not letting you leave. Baits out the counter though. All right, sweetxjam with a little life.
This is an opportunity. Can you get into Goku Moroha? Yes, you can.
Yeah, but the backdash does dodge it and the knockdown. Goku Moroha does reset the meters, so sweetxjam not punish it. But now down to that last third burst to get out. Woo! Donzai getting in. How much can we get? Can we take it to the house? Not quite. Goes for the reset.
Hit the meter again. You had to get out. That is so unfortunate. Twice now going into these awkward scenarios. But again, we've got one blood bag left because we were able to get the key grab to get it started this time.
Yeah, but now back in the corner, out of Moroha mode. Not much meter for FD. This is a tough spot and gets caught. G.Viper takes the first game 2-0. You nailed it. Got the hit, got the Donzai. You look down, you're like, I have 1 millimeter of Moroha moment. I have to stop the combo. Like,
there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, it's one of those where the idea was going to be to try and re-jump, get the air key grab, and go from there. Yep, and I'm not surprised by this.
Switch.
I am not surprised by this at all. Again, every A.B.A. player will tell you they hate this matchup. Most of them consider this the single worst matchup for their character in the game. So sweetxjam, I'm willing to bet that this soul exists for sweetxjam solely for this matchup and nothing else.
Holy Michael Sword, G.Viper. You got to chill with that move. Round start, and then every single combo. Yeah, there you go. Just not letting it stop. We saw the same thing against the A.B.A. Just like, I'm going to use this move. Let's see what you can do about it.
So sweetxjam able to get to the corner, gets caught with the anti-air. It's going to cross over. This is going to hurt. The corner is earned. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. That is the idea. You can Grand Viper if they pick the wrong nuke. Justice players know Soul is looking to Grand Viper the second that happens. So good read there by G.Viper.
Got no answer to these nukes and Michael Swords. I feel like G.Viper has found a level 1 game plan just to like knowledge check, and there is not knowledge there right now.
Not yet. The drop. RC to stay safe though, and does keep the corner. The backdash, got to be ready for it. I like it. Take the quick knockdown. Really smart there. All right.
Oh, weird scramble there on the dust.
Yep. Opt to burst the dust. Those are weird because you have limited movement when you're doing a dust combo. All right, there we go.
We got wild throw sidewinders. Some things never die. Just like this Justice, who is holding on for dear life. But that is not going to do it as sweetxjam finally getting on the board.
I like it. Really good read there. Does the force break, says, I know you're going to burst. I wait. So not only do you get the round, get on the board, but that burst is empty, Bucko, and it is not coming back anytime soon.
sweetxjam knows it. Okay, that throw, again, G.Viper has been so good with those throws on the defense. Now back to these Michael Sword combos, throwing out those nukes, back to the skill check. Can sweetxjam get in now that G.Viper has had the opportunity to set up this default game plan?
Yep, goes to full screen again. Oh, gets through the nuke. All right, we're in. Conversion. Get the knockdown. I like it. Spin in the meter, make sure we finish our plate. And the knockdown, a little too high for Bandit Revolver and knockdown, but we're back into the corner.
Okay. My man played Cuphead. He knows how to get in against these nukes.
Look, gets caught. Nice conversion there from G.Viper. Back on the offense. Nice block on 5D and doesn't run into the counter. Ripped, all right. sweetxjam looking good. Little life here.
Yeah, a little taste of your own medicine. And a little bit of a mix-up there from G.Viper. Not sure what they were going for, but the result is going to work out in their favor because we saw the whiff grab from sweetxjam. Back to one more opportunity to close this out before sweetxjam gets too much momentum in this game number 2.
Brought up. EP, sweetxjam evening it up at 1-1. Really smart there. You got sweetxjam definitely did not want to corner themselves during that sequence, and it's like, what do you do when you see a scramble situation? hit your fastest button, hit 2P, hit 5K. Then not able to do anything special. It's just 2P knockdown, like nothing
that's
special.
That, like G.Viper doesn't have great answers to. They want to be way further away.
Yeah, and in those situations, like I'm not worried about optimal. I'm worried I need to get you knocked down so I can not be in the corner. So really smart there. And this so far, this character switch paying off for sweetxjam. So we're going to a final game. The whiffs, that has to be a planned bait. I like it. Really smart from G.Viper there, and earns a burst right out the gate.
We got the color switches though. We're going red, white, and blue because this is America. Shout out Donald Glover on that one. Let's see if these nukes are going to be a little bit more powered up this time around.
All right. It's knockdown. What's the play? Wow. Looking for the reversal, still doesn't bait it, so sweetxjam out. Ooh, a clash!
Okay.
That works out in sweetxjam's favor big time because it doesn't push him out. And now, a little bit of a life lead here, but back at range.
Oh, no.
All right,
he was cooking something.
Run the obstacle course, my man. It's time to play American Ninja, even if Chipp's not on screen. And that's going to be a closeout for G.Viper. No,
oh,
okay.
There you go, okay.
Black beat doesn't matter. That still counts, my friend. That is a round and back on set point for G.Viper.
I mean, you're so scared of teching there, right? Like you feel like they're out to shark you, they're out to get you. If I just wait and fall to the ground, maybe I'll be safe. Unfortunately, it does not work out. But G.Viper now back in the corner. sweetxjam getting this started, and look at that damage.
Yeah, caught the backdash with Gunflame, and counter hit Gunflame is a juicy starter. You see it right there. sweetxjam with a nice life lead, but back at range. Ooh, goes for the risky play, gets punished for it, opts to use the burst to get in, immediately bursted back out, and now can we run the gauntlet one more time, get in?
Oh, this is that terrifying zone. This is where G.Viper can finally set up their game plan. And it's been so hard for sweetxjam to get in against, and the adaptation, last time it was sweetxjam that got the throw there. This time G.Viper, one more chance on Oki, and the throw on the FD. You thought.
Oh, God, drops the wild throw combo, had a chance to close it out. Lots of scrambles right now.
He's trying to get away.
Right?
G.Viper wants out so badly, but sweetxjam will not go down without a fight. Another DP, letting it rip, betting it all, and it might have been the wrong call as G.Viper closes it out, not letting that opportunity slip away.
Yeah, very nice conversion there at the end. I was wondering, I'm like, ran up DP. Is he going to do it again? You got no
you can
meter.
Feel it in your bones.
You got no meter to back that up. If you don't hit that, that's a wrap. But I respect the game plan. It's like, you know what? You've run into this like 6 times. Maybe we make it 7 and I push this to final round, but nothing doing so. Good adaptation from both players. G.Viper going to close
really
it out.
Fun.
But I really applaud sweetxjam. sweetxjam is an A.B.A. player. Like that is their character. That is who they play. It is really, really hard to switch off your character in a set, especially in Guilty Gear, especially Legacy Guilty Gear. Even the best players in the world rarely pilot 2 characters in this game. It's so hard to do because there's so much more character-specific knowledge. There's so much little nuance to every single matchup. And doing that with 2 separate characters and doing it at high level is something even some of the greatest players in the world have never been able to accomplish.
Yeah, and you could see the spin-up time there as well. The first round of the first game with the Soul looked a little bit like you were struggling a bit, but managed to figure it out and almost brought that back. That one DP call-out might have been the difference maker. I'm glad we got to see a Game 3.
Yeah.
However, now we got to take a short break. We've got some ads to play. So everybody, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Friends, welcome back to Frosty Faustings 17, live here in Lombard, Illinois. You are smack dab in the middle of 10 a.m. pools for Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus R. My name is Clage. I'm here with the good man Lentini, and we are off and running now. People are getting in, getting
we're
warmed
waking up.
Yep. Caffeine's kicking in. Everybody's the nerves are kind of shedding off. Everybody's played a couple matches now. We're off and running. So
that last set was absolutely fantastic as well. We got to the point where we've got 2 people of pretty similar skill, and it's really coming down to those hard call-outs and reads and adaptations to your opponent. And I think that's where the game gets truly beautiful.
Yeah, no. Adaptation is key in every fighting game. You know, who can adjust to the game plan on the fly? It's really interesting in these older games, these legacy Guilty Gear games, because sometimes adapting to that plan, even if you know what to do, actually executing it can be really, really brutal. Again,
absolutely.
No input buffer is obviously a big problem, but you have these characters like Justice. If they get their game plan set up, even the best players in the world will tell you that's hard. It's really difficult to have the patience. In a game with so much free-flowing movement, so many special moves that will send you flying across the screen, it's really tempting to make your call out and try and get in on a character that owns the screen like that. Being patient is a virtue and going a long way to get stuff going, but we have our defending Frosty Faustings plus our champion up on the stage. Jacobpat, one of the true OGs of the American Guilty Gear scene, been doing this even longer than I have, and that's how you know you are decrepit.
I love that name, Negative Ellie, as well. That's very clever.
Yeah. So
exciting to see what's going to happen here.
So Negative Ellie going to have to bring the A game against the defending champ. Testament versus Eddie. Yes, Eddie, not Zato. I know it's hard to keep up with. I'm going to call him Zato at least 3 times this set.
The number of times I've Googled which one's which again.
All right, so I'll debate. Ellie does earn the corner. Good defense from Jacobpat. That's what I expect. He's been around a long time. And going to get the knockdown. All right, and Testament now begins the game.
Yeah, set up that EXE beast. Catch him slipping. It's so hard to play defense against this as well. And the net's in the corner. This is the dimension that Eddie came from, as far as I can tell. You just got to suffer.
Yep, and now the best win con in the game, arguably on deck with Master of Puppets. That first tree's already triggered now, so that's a win for Ellie. All right, gonna earn the corner. Opts for the Eddie Vice moveset. Don't see that very often. Gets through the skull, and we're in. Opens up Jacobpat, and we're off and running here.
You can only play defense so hard against that. There's a certain level of just hold this mix, and it looks like Jacob is holding that mix.
That was a well-prepared sequence from Negative Ellie. Exhaustion into the unblockable, catching Jacobpat. Excuse me, the overhead, not the unblockable. I am still waking up as well. But let's see how Jacobpat adapts. But right now, Negative Ellie with a 1-round lead on our defending champ. We'll see how Jacobpat adjusts here.
Showing us that legacy isn't everything. Sometimes you can catch your opponent off guard with some schmicks of your own. Testament, definitely a more common character. So you're going to know that matchup no matter what in this scene. And maybe Jacob's a little rusty on the Eddie matchup. Who knows?
Looks like we're warming up here, though. Does get knocked down, but at range, a lot easier to deal with little Eddie when you're not right on top of it. But gets caught trying to 2H through. But the meter is gone. No exhaustion, no Eddie. And
hold that
wow,
yeah,
went for the hero burst. I'm kind of surprised at that, but Jacobpat with a good read. And now Negative Ellie in a rough spot going into the final round with no burst to her name.
Yeah, that's tough. I feel like that might have been a bit of a mistake there. Maybe you're just caught in the heat of the moment. However, we've got the throw here. Going to put you into a bad spot.
Jacobpat trying to play patient, looking for a way out. Catches with the 2H and start the mix. Keeping it simple, just make him block. You'll take that trade all day, every day, and we're in again. Again, you're seeing the problem. That burst not being there. Opposite dead angle and earns the corner for it. All right.
Just forcing control with that EXE beast, but as soon as you guess wrong, the problem with pulling him in is if you get the wrong button, Ellie is now in your face and doing such a good job. We don't even need the burst. Speaking of which, Jacob not getting an opportunity to use his as Ellie takes game number 1.
Really good defense there from Ellie. Again, no burst to work with. Waited, picked her spot, got the dead angle to earn the corner, and earns game 1 from there. So our defending champ down 1-0 in this set.
Immediate tree, though, setting up tree again. That has been quite the boon already in this matchup. It's been difficult for Ellie to deal with on the approach. This time around, it does get beaten out. Not going to be a problem. Those nets are not set up anymore. This is a bad spot for Jacobpat, who needs that control of the screen to get the offense going.
Yeah, gets it back. Ellie with a lot of momentum after a smart burst, picked the right burst timing so it didn't get baited, but we're back to neutral. Nice flying poke, and now catches the overhead. Jacobpat opts to burst, says, nope, I don't want to concede this round. Nice conversion. Very, very nice conversion there from Jacobpat.
We don't air dash in 2025. Just dash forward expeditiously.
Yeah, testament for a character that has so much screen pollution, so much Oki. Also has really, really good buttons. So sometimes all you need to do is dash up. But blocking Eddie, good patience. Does get hit by the overhead, but the Eddie meter is out, so no conversion.
Yeah, that was unfortunate timing for Ellie. Finally getting it when you can't do anything with it, but you got to be ready for that tree as well. And he's back online. Let's see what you can do with it.
Yep, all right. Jacobpat does earn the burst again.
So willing to use that burst at low life.
Yeah, all right, conversion off the JD. Not going to be able to kill from there, but catches the mash, and Jacobpat, wow, runs it. As quick as it was 1-0, it is 1-1 just like that, friends, and we go to the final game already. Good adjustments there from Jacobpat. Kind of simplified the game plan a little bit, lowered the risk, and playing a little bit more of a tighter game. See if that momentum stays up.
Getting rid of those nets early, giving Ellie a lot more opportunity to fly around using Eddie, such an important part of the mix-up game. But Jacobpat not deterred, forcing the burst out super early once again, and just continuing to hold that resource advantage.
I was going to say that burst did not trigger the net. I wonder if Ellie recognized it. She did not, and now is going to pay for it. Going to the corner, force break, Skull is out, the overhead is coming. Yep, Master of Puppets.
That's rough.
There's a bad spot right there, Bucko. You don't want to eat Master of Puppets with 10% health. You might not even have to. Didn't even need a single big tree or empowered net. I just do low and I win. Very straightforward there. Jacobpat on set point.
I mean, once that Skull came out, I'm surprised she lived that long. That was some impressive defense. However, Jacobpat, like you were saying earlier, is warming up, getting a little bit better at dealing with things, does have to use the burst there, and Ellie's right back in the face, but look at that. This time, ready with an answer, setting up that EXE Beast on the Oki, and such a tough situation. Once again, burst is online, though.
All right. Jacobpat, a little bit of a lead here. Knockdown, what's the mix? I like to keep it simple, daring you to mash, catches on the hit.
Ooh.
Ellie again with that low life burst says, nah, I can run this back.
Well,
I believe in myself. I'm betting on myself.
I don't think you can bet on anything else at this point because you are out of opportunities, and look how tough this situation is. Ooh.
No, the net.
Ooh.
It doesn't matter. The Crow comes in, finishes off, and Jacobpat, our defending champion, going to stay alive on the winner's side. Good showing there from negative Ellie, just not able to quite continue that pressure. I did like seeing the Eddie Vice moveset. We don't see that very often. If you're unfamiliar, Eddie in the early part of the XX series had a different moveset with the puppet, that's Testament, with the demon Eddie, where the buzzsaw is different than Maru, the one that comes from behind you. And we saw it must be a matchup dependent thing that Ellie felt, because I like the ideas like keeping you at mid-screen is not great. If I get dead angled or I don't bait a burst or something, then I'm put right into the mixer with the EXE Beast. Let me just send you to the corner before I really start trying to apply the pressure. And we saw that work to great effect in game one. After that, Jacobpat goes, oh, you're not actually trying to crank me open off the gate. Okay, I'm just going to chill. I'll wait my turn. I'll poke when I think there's a good chance to RPS here. All I have to do is convert one and then run it from there.
Yeah, it's that kind of matchup knowledge, that adaptation, recognition of the situation you're in is so critical when you're up against someone like the Frosty Faustings defending champion, right? Like, you can't be caught slipping with not knowing the Testament matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am looking over at our matchup right now, and friends, you are in for a treat. We have one of the true legends of all things Guilty Gear, IMM Summit, often known as Samitto, all the way from Japan, the Chipp of all chips to ever do it. If you were not around for when Plus R launched in arcades back in the early 2010s, if you turned on Mikado, you would see Summit. And if you looked up at the win streak next to his name, your jaw would hit the floor. So Summit has been doing it for a long time, one of the best to ever do it, and Barbar is going to have to play the game of his life right now.
Because right into these knives, that was tough. Yeah, it's going to be a hype setup against Barbar here, who has got an aggressive start, but Summit, I feel like in both situations where Barbar tried to come in, just stuffed him out so masterfully and got to start playing this Chipp offense way sooner than you would like to see.
Yeah, and Samitto is so good at this style of play. Nickel and dime you, catch you, but the difference is Chipp in Plus R is one of, if not the most demanding character to play from an executional and just mental standpoint. The amount of options this character has, the amount of force breaks this character has is enough to melt your brain when you pick him up for the first time. But, all right, Barbar with the first bit of life, and I like it. Summit says, nah, let's reset back to neutral. I'll spin my burst. But Barbar has kind of found if I just go in.
Okay.
All right, I like it. And this is Chipp. This is going to hurt. He can close this out.
I think that's it. Doesn't
enough.
even need the full combo there. Thank you very much.
Really
on the board.
Really important. Caught Chipp at 50%, which means the guts had not kicked in. Didn't need to do a heavy guts crush to close that out. So Barbar evens up this set and has a lot of momentum. Summit seems to be struggling with this pure rushdown game plan.
The timing on that DP was crazy from Summit to find a way through that crazy air mix that Barbar was trying to pull, because you're baiting out options like that.
Yeah, and right now, Barbar with a nice life lead, but gets hit. Oh, no conversion for them. Catches with the force break out of the leaf grab, and now Yep, gonna put him up. Where's the mix? The teleports.
Yeah,
Yep, go back up. Do it again. You can't see him.
Forget teleporting behind you. I'm going to teleport right inside your face, and there's nothing you can do about
What
it.
a call out from Summit. I love it. Goes into leap grab to see if you land. If not, I'm just going to force break out. I cannot tell you how infuriating that force break is to deal with, because you spend years dealing with Chipp and you're like, all right, leaf grab's kind of slow. I learned. You can air throw it. Yeah, what if he just goes into what is effectively one of the best DPs in the game out of it for, out of nowhere? Good luck dealing with it, but...
Speaking of DPs,
yep.
Barbar answering back with a DP of their own. Both of these characters very strong in that part of the game, but right now, Summit is just putting you in the blender.
Yeah. What Chipp does, yep, gonna punish that with ease. That's so easy for Chipp to punish, that fast dash speed. Looking for a tech trap, doesn't need to. JD to the face. Summit clearly back in control. Ooh, whiffs a DP though. Barbar offs too. That had to be an execution error. No way you would have done that on purpose. So that's a big drop right now, and Summit makes it hurt already on set point.
It's another one of these fast matchups.
I correct myself. This is winners finals in this pool, so not on set
point.
I
Oh, we best of 5. Okay. Well, either way, that burst is coming out early. Neither of them are going to have it likely for most of this round. Maybe Summit at the end, but I don't know. It's going to be difficult with how little life this character has.
Right. Yep. Summit often keeping it simple, goes in. Oh, wow, nice jump back there from Barbar. Does get the knockdown. What are we doing? FRC Gunflame holding the pressure. All right.
Oh, it's holding the pressure.
Conversion, no tech. There is no auto tech in this game, friends. You got to do it manually. If you don't, doesn't matter if it's not a real combo. It's going to hurt.
Speaking of not real combo, yeah, a little bit of a black beat going on there. However, you got the damage, evening this up. This is the opportunity for Barbar, but Summit instead gets the call out with the mix-up on the Oki and closing it out there.
Okay, apparently we are staying 2 out of 3 in pools. Okay, I wasn't sure. So, apologies. So Summit takes it 2-0. Very nice adjustment there. Good effort from Barbar. I like the recognition that's like, you know what if I just ran at you? Like nonstop. Are you just prepared for that? And sometimes a lot of Japanese players are much more risk-reward conscious. They like to keep things simple, safe, let you kind of hang yourself is kind of a hallmark of a lot of classic Japanese Guilty Gear players.
Yeah.
And I like Barbar just going, nah, hell with it, I'm going. Like,
just go in.
You figure it out.
If it hits though?
Buttons. Yeah.
If it hits though.
And that's the thing. Chipp is an incredible character in this game. Literally has every tool and situation you could ever ask for, but you got to pick the right one at the right time. You have to be able to execute. You have to be able to convert. That's a tall task.
If you get it wrong, you die.
Yeah, and if you get hit, we saw 50% life off of a good but not phenomenal starter, and Barbar clutched that bar up with ease.
Yeah, and not even like you didn't need the whole combo.
No, there was plenty left on the table. That could have started at 70 and Chipp was going to die. But again, that's the key. When you hit someone before guts starts kicking in, Chipp has really high guts in this game. His level 4 guts was the second highest you can get in plus R. So with that not kicking in, it's just that combo is essentially unscaled on a character with the worst defensive modifier in the game. That's not a recipe for success. But when you've been playing as long as Summit has, it's like, wow, I got hit for 50% in Guilty Gear. I've never seen this before. All right, I'm just going to go back to playing Chipp now. And good conversion, good clutch there. And Summit will be moving on to top 48.
Yeah, truly the epitome of you got your one.
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
But you needed 2 to pass. You only got 1. Sorry, Mrs. Puff. That's not going to be enough. But now we got Pida versus Summer Breeze coming up.
Okay, so our Czech Republic player back up here.
Yeah, we're back on the sticks.
Yeah. Right.
Looking ahead, we're going around the world with some of these matchups coming up.
All right, so we're going to have Axel, and I heard Venom. I don't know if that's who we're sticking with. We'll find out here in a minute, but be real curious to see. This is our first time seeing Summer Breeze today, so. And I can't say I'm familiar with this player. I feel like I should know this name, but it's also possible I'm just being old again and forgetting.
Well, my man's going to say you're about to learn, right?
Right.
Right. If you're this far into the bracket, you know you got hands. I've been loving how close these matches are now that we're at this point. And it's exciting to see the character variety with that as well. It's not all one character. It's not all Testament, right?
Yeah, no, that you will see. If you watch this tournament all day, friends, I can almost guarantee you will see every character on the roster at least once somewhere throughout the day. Like,
I feel like every time I watch this game, there's a different character that's like the mainstay. Today it's Soul Bad Guy.
Yep.
Sometimes it is like the Testament. Sometimes it's some random character you don't even think about. We've seen a lot of Axel today, for example.
All right, so Axel versus Venom. This is a really interesting matchup. Again, two characters that both have very malleable game plans. They both play well at range, but they also have good up-close pressure game. Venom's a lot more strike-throw mix-up oriented, whereas Axel kind of dares you to move or push a button when you shouldn't. So we'll see who can get the best of it here.
Yeah, my brain definitely puts these characters in a similar place. It's just setup versus all the time.
Yeah. Both, you know, really strong at range, have a lot of ways to make you reconsider how you make your approach. And then again, once the setup is there, there's a lot to work with. All right.
We've seen that Ransengeki coming in already, just forcing out the space, making Pida respect. Yeah, things like that. You've got to put some respect on the name as you slowly get chipped out. We don't even need the big combos and close it out with one more.
Yeah, I like that run up. The one thing Venom does not have in Plus R is Venom does not have a good defensive game plan. Venom relies heavily on either anti-airing you with 6P, or once you're on top of him, he's just like the rest. You have to either spend money on a dead angle, try and bet on a burst, or you have to play excellent defense. He does not have a tried and true reversal in this game.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those characters, a little bit archetypical to the Plus R mindset in general, which is, okay, yeah, my defense is crap, but this offense, though?
Yep.
Once I get my Oki going, though?
The offense and the neutral, of course. Setting pool ball is a very dangerous neutral tool, but right now, Pida look good. A little bit drop there. Does the full mat struggle. Right?
Okay.
Good defense. Just patient there for Pida. No punish on the Axel Bomber. All right, charging Carcass Raid. Little out of range for force break mat struggle.
Uh-oh,
on the last legs, gotta FD all of it. Ransengeki will chip out here. Ooh, earns the burst, all right.
Trying so hard to get that pool ball, whiffed the first time, able to get it, staying alive, but you're barely gonna get chipped out.
Wow, the clash on the 6P and Summer Breeze, not able to recognize it. Not a lot to convert to there either, unfortunately. Probably a far S was the best that was gonna happen, and that was not gonna close it out. So Pida takes a 1-0 lead. A little high on the air throw to get anything there, but does allow the chance to set up pool balls, and now I'm playing at range, but gets poked. Does avoid the unblockable, though, all right?
I do like the angles of those setups that you're going for there. Just hasn't been able to open up super well. The chip damage has finally started. Pida in a bit of a risky spot here because we're not seeing those big combos like we talked about.
Yeah, not quite getting conversions, but we're pretty even on life. A little bit of lead here, Summer Breeze.
That cross up.
All right, Pida says, nah, I got this round. I'm going to go ahead, opt to burst, and has a massive stick of tension just waiting to be used. But, yep, nice bait on the dead angle by Summer Breeze. Baits it again, and all that meter is gone, but not able to close it out.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Stinger aim, and Summer Breeze with the first round in this second game. I love the read there. Saw an Axel with a full bar meter and said, you're going to do something. Maybe it's reversal super, maybe it's DPRC, or maybe it's dead angle, and good patience turns around there, and now a little bit of lead, but Pida poking back and going in.
Summer Breeze just trying to get out of these situations. Unfortunately, the downside of that is because you started off the game with what was like 3 backdashes in a row, now one little extension from Pida is going to put you in the corner, forcing out these hard read options, forcing out the mix like that, and we're just holding FD saying, nah, I don't feel like thinking right now.
Nice block on the match struggle, but does get knocked down. All right, just goes with the mid. Oh, good patience, but Pida is out, and rough burst at the top, but no full punish.
That felt like lose-lose, because if you don't burst, you get comboed anyway.
All right, and the chip damage this time enough, and Pida already on set point.
Looking poised.
Yeah.
Summer Breeze, though, had some stuff really going the first round of this second game. The mix-ups on the pool balls were so strong. We need to see more of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, playing at a massive burst disadvantage, that's gone, but what has also gone is half of Summer Breeze's life bar from being put in the corner.
Was it worth it? We're going to find out. It's not looking great so far because Pida, once you get stuck in the corner, Summer Breeze has been really struggling to get out.
Close it out if we finish the drop. Oh, drops the killing blow,
wait.
though.
Everybody hold.
All right. Hold your breath, friends. What do we got?
We need the craziest mix-up of your life right now, Summer Breeze. An opportunity has been gifted to you. The stagger as well. One more chance on this Oki setup. The struggles into the super, letting it all rip.
All right, trying to hold the corner there. Now all the way back, and he completes the comeback.
And you can hear the crowd on that one.
Finish your plate, kids. Look, that was going to be one of the. I saw the guard bar. I'm like, he's dead.
He's
like,
dead.
That's Axel and a counter hit starter and a cranked wrist gauge. Drops the killing blow, and Summer Breeze does not waste that gift given.
And that super was so perfectly utilized. Just having that meter unlocked. Speaking of meter, goes for the gold burst, does not get it. That's really tough in this situation.
Yeah, I like this adjustment from Pida, realizing Summer Breeze is trying to jump out. As you would expect, again, Venom with limited defensive options. She just says, I'm just going to throw out 2S, catch you sleeping in the air, and has got a massive life lead. But we saw a massive life lead isn't everything right now. Let's see.
Clearly.
All right, that's it. Summer Breeze will take, even if you don't take this round, getting Pida to opt to use their burst is a minor W, but a minor W is not going to win you the set. Now you got to do something with it.
Yeah, doesn't even get the opportunity that time. You could see a little bit of shades of last time. I'm sure Pida was sweating, but found the right way through.
Yeah, that's one of the scariest situations to ever have in a set in the middle of a tournament is the, oh no, not again. Like, not like this twice.
And then you start overthinking your mental stack. It gets a little bit overloaded, and that's when it actually happens.
All right,
Okay,
Summer Breeze,
pressure.
nice. I like the use of meter, just wanting to hold the corner. Says, I do not want to have to chase you down again. Walks back into the corner, so Pida not able to escape despite getting a minor advantage, and now
You get that burst advantage as well, actually coming out, but Pida lives through it and thrives. Now getting an extension of their own. Summer Breeze going super high, managed to get out of the corner, but Pida catching on the landing anyway, back and forth. Now you've cornered yourself. You got out of the combo, but was it worth it? Can you escape? The slashback!
Slashback gets a little breathing room, but runs right into the anti-air. Not enough, but gonna have to block everything, and the 5P gonna close it out.
Mad respect for going for a slashback in that situation, and it worked. It's just the recovery from Pida was too good.
The real unfortunate part is that was one of those where it's like the slashback was clutch, but you're at the wrong range to do anything with it. You're still in the air against Axel, and yes, your block stun's gone, so you can kind of try and do something, but what are you going to do, air dash in and then get 2S for your trouble? Like, it was a desperation thing, because what else are you going to do? You're about to get chipped out from the air. You're going to run out of FD, and then you're really in trouble. So I like the idea, and clutch to hit it. Slashback is not an easy thing to hit, friends. That is a 3-frame window in the middle of the air, and if you do it wrong, you're just either getting a tech or you're getting a button, and then you're getting counter hit. So good
Very
adjustment,
impressive.
good back and forth. That comeback was amazing. Like, always love to see that. Never, until your opponent is dead on the ground and plus R, don't think they're not a threat. Don't. You saw it. Venom is not. Venom's not a high damage character. It'll hurt you if your wrist gauge is cranked. He just clapped back 90%. It's like, oh, you left the opening.
My man's built different.
Yeah, I'll walk through that door. I'm down.
My man, he's that dude at the bar who's trying to scam you and pool. You play for a little bit.
The actual hustle.
He's hustling.
The actual hustle.
He throws a little bit for a while. Okay, well, let's put a drink on it. And then he locks in.
Can you imagine looking at Venom and not thinking he's a hustler? Like,
oh, yeah. You see those abs, like, there's no way this dude is not sick with it.
My man's has a briefcase with his pool cue in it, and that's when you're just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good, fam.
Actually, as he's putting it together, I've actually never played before. It's just
that's when you just walk up like, bro, can I just give you $100 now so I don't embarrass myself? Like, can we cut out the middleman on this?
Let's call it like a lesson. You're actually just going to teach me right now. Here's a $100 fee for your troubles.
Exactly. So, all right, and I'm looking over, and up next we have another banger coming up.
Hot.
So, another former Frosty Faustings plus our champion 2 years ago, across from the pond, the premier May player, Kedako, going to be coming in to take on G.Viper. And unlike the last Justice matchup we saw, May actually kind of all right with fighting this character. Has a lot of mobility, has very, very good air buttons to try and go in and challenge, where Justice has amazing anti-airs. They're highly committal. You know, you go for the 2S claw or the 2H claw. Amazing anti-air, incredible reward if it connects. If you whiff, you are sitting there on your butt for a long time. And if May sees that, she's going to drop an anchor on your dome, and it's probably going to hurt.
Yeah. And she's got some level of mix-up game with the Dolphin game plan, so you can't just know when to spend those anti-air options, right? Like, it's not a given when May is on the way in that this is when I press this button.
Yeah, and the other thing she has going for is the fact that the Dolphins count as projectiles and you can force break launch them means that Justice doesn't have quite the ability to just throw out tail catch counter because it's not going to do anything to it. It's a projectile. It will create the animation, but it's not a normal, so May's not going to get flipped over.
And then you get blown up.
Yep. And then on top of it, May, okay, her command grab, not as good as it used to be. It was changed to a more running bear style grab in plus R. It's a little bit more hoopty in this game, but having a command grab against a character like Justice is really important because, again, Justice's defense is kind of weird. She has defensive tools, but they're not great because why would you give a character that owns that much screen space godly defensive tools? Her DP is a little slow, and her catch counter is a little slow, but it reaches and will chuck you from anywhere if you stick a normal into it.
Let's all thank Arxis for that one. This could have been a problem.
Right? So Mei does have some options to work around, but just like everyone else, you got to navigate screen pollution. You got to navigate the nukes. And I promise you, kedako is familiar with this matchup because arguably the best Justice player in the world in Plus R is one of the biggest regulars at the arcade and Sportsland. So
I'm curious to see what the range of gameplay, of approach, is going to look like as Mei in this matchup. Like, you even end up in the situation where you can go for 5D high-low mix-ups, or are you just going to sit in that range you were talking about, the RC Dolphin range, to just make this poor Justice player suffer?
Yeah. And what you're going to notice, and something I've always loved about kedako's playstyle, is kedako is very comfortable playing a very conservative game until he smells the slightest amount of blood in the water. And then he's willing to kind of be a jackass, kind of play a little wild, a little ragged, because once he knows he has control, I'm just going to hit you, I'm going to make it hurt.
All right, we are seeing the aggression, yeah. Kedako going in, making it so hard for G.Viper to find a way out, spending meter as well on this approach. Great overhead, but there's the throw, giving an opportunity to set up a nuke.
Yeah, nice air grab. Does re-corner themselves because of the way Justice's air throw works, but a little bit of a life lead here. You're seeing kedako gets the Justice. Impossible is a little too high. Go up and chase. That's another area where Mei can excel in this matchup. Justice doesn't have a lot to challenge Mei when Mei is underneath of her in the air, but
now we see as well G.Viper just fighting through those hoop setups with nukes. Only so much you can do. Nice
force break get in. Catches with the second one. Yep, force break and closes it out. About 6 seconds left in that set.
That was long.
Very good patience.
I mean, it's Justice.
Very good patience back and forth. kedako finally gets enough. Closes it out. I like the double force break. See if he could catch on the background.
Yeah, the aggression as well from G.Viper, trying to adapt, recognizing maybe that, you know what, I'm getting stuck in the corner a little bit too often. Unfortunately.
Garbar, be careful, kedako. Good defense, though. Faultless defense. Gets out and earns the knockdown and the corner and baits out a mash.
That's so tough. G.Viper forced into the corner so well, and then unfortunately cornered himself, and now kedako taking full advantage.
Yeah, going to convert here. Might have been a burst bait on the end or missed input, but kedako with an 80% life lead, 90% life lead if I could read meters today.
That poor Dolphin just gets sent to space. That's so tough.
Can you imagine being summoned from a mythical hoop and the first thing you see is a nuclear bomb in your face?
What kind of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy we're pulling out here?
Right. Right. Nice. I like that from G.Viper. Gets in under the Dolphin, but Michael Sword super whiffs, so now loses 50% tension and doesn't get much for the trouble, and still, you see kedako just content to hold this life lead. I don't have to take a big risk. I don't have to swing into the nukes. I'll wait. Maybe you get bored. Maybe you make an input error. Eventually, kedako does have to try and close this out, but
the G.Viper gets to kind of walk forward here, though, which can be a lot in and of itself.
We are looking at a timer now, though. Yep, just lets the hoop level up, and now is down to that final pixel. The Michael Sword catches, though. All right, this is real interesting, but you got to go in 5. Down to 4. Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna timer it out.
Needed. Just hold down back and wait.
Just a smart veteran Guilty Gear player doing smart veteran Guilty Gear player things. Why take the risk? Why go put yourself into the nuke blender when you can say, no, come catch me? Like, Mei is surprisingly difficult to catch. She's not a true pixie by any stretch of the imagination, but you saw, it's just like, what if I just FRC restive roll and literally leave the entire county?
I'm a head out.
Yep.
A little bit of a early mistake there, I think, on the dust combo. A drop from G.Viper is going to give kedako a decent opportunity. However, look at that damage already.
All right, does catch the nuke, going to convert. Gets the knockdown, very nice. I like it. Doesn't try to go in, not going to do anything cute. Just, nope, let's run the obstacle course again. You figure it out, my mans.
And Michael Sword just spacing out, keeping you safe. There comes the Dolphin pressure. Hitchhiker's Guide to Anatomy out here. However, that risk gauge getting scary over and over for kedako.
Yeah. G.Viper under a little bit of duress there, opted for a burst, a little bit of a risky burst, but it pays off, and now in a real good position. kedako now forced to take those risks. Yeah.
Did try it. I respect it.
Yep.
Oh, I got supered. I'm a run up anyway.
I really like kedako not overcommitting there. Looks at the life lead. I've got a burst. Let's just go to round 2, reset.
Yeah. Easy mistake to make, but kedako
poised. The full conversion, beautiful. I like it. What's Justice going to do about blocking rested roll? Doesn't really have the right button to deal with that at that range. And
here's
the
that
double
anchor to the face. You were talking about how hard it is for G.Viper to make the right call-outs on those anti-airs, and we're seeing that come into effect. The backdash not even going to save you. That anchor just such a big active hitbox.
Yep, and I love this game from kedako. All I need to be able to do is set the hoop. And smart adaptation there from G.Viper says, well, fine, they can go that way. I'm going over here, bucko. Let's go. Let's reset again. But SeaWorld coming in.
Having a whale of a time right now. That is for sure.
All right, G.Viper gets the throw. See what she can do with this. Gets the knockdown. Puts the nuke. Good defense from kedako. We're back in, and we go all the way back to neutral. Hoops versus nukes. Run it back.
Ooh.
I like this. I love the use of the force break dash from G.Viper to go, nah, I'm not dealing with your Dolphins, bucko. They can go that way. That's your part of town now.
You see that hoop is just sitting there. G.Viper waiting. Finally, it comes out. Those Dolphins going everywhere except where they're supposed to go. That is so unfortunate.
Just 5 Dolphins coming out and be like, bro, that's a nuke. I'm leaving.
I'm going to head out expeditiously. Get me out of here.
The board meeting later on the May ship is going to be like, what are you doing? Did you see where you called me?
I saw Oppenheimer. No, thank you.
My good lord. But kedako already on set point. Good. I love the patience from both these players. Really picking their spots, trying to not overcommit. Because either of them, an overcommit could be 60, 70% of your life out the gate. So, right? RC's the Blanca slide to stay safe. But, wow. kedako betting big on a burst and gets away with it and earns the burst back, so no more get-out-of-jail cards for either player.
Watch that hoop, though. All right. Okay, there goes opportunity for kedako to get in. Not going to find
what
you're looking for, though.
Didn't have the range to do force break on that, so no jackhound, but we're back in again. kedako just jumping. Just says, you're not going to deal with me jumping at you? You figure it out.
Speaking of jumping, G.Viper, like, not sure what to do. We saw a chicken block come out there. We saw a backdash coming out there. My man's back's up against the wall, and he's trying to go further.
Oh, missed the finisher, though. G.Viper with some life here. Can she close it out? That's the play.
Oh.
Wow, lets it rip. I like it. Real good patience there from G.Viper to bait out the super, and now down to our last legs here. Can kedako close this out, or would G.Viper push us to a third game?
I'm feeling Dolphin time. Let them rip. Let those Beyblades go.
And enough nukes to hold the fort, and G.Viper gonna close it out, push it to 1-1.
Man, I love that move so much. You're just waiting and waiting for those Dolphins to come out, and who knows what's gonna happen when they finally do.
Again, like, that is one of the few ways May has to directly combat the nuke. She can't just go up and poke at them because while she has disjointed hitboxes, they're not that disjointed. They're not going to detonate nukes without her taking the hit too.
Right, you can only do so much there. However, kedako off to a not-so-great start in this game number 3. I feel like G.Viper is starting to find her stride.
Yeah, G.Viper recognized the drop, gets the air throw on the tech, and now is in a dominating position, going to be full screen with a massive life lead.
Ooh,
yep, catches the jump on the Michael sword, and G.Viper now on set point.
I feel like that super right there is a great testament to how well G.Viper has adapted. Because how many times have we seen that super just not work in this set?
Absolutely. Yeah, really smart play. And right now, you're seeing kedako's like, all right, I probably need to slow it down a little bit. All right, catches the counter hit. Wow, just trying to chase down with Dolphins and gets gripped for the trouble. But the nuke doesn't actually catch the tech. Nice FD to not get anti-aired. And now kedako has the corner and is immediately going into the jump baits again. Is daring G.Viper, like, prove to me you can stop this. Prove to me you can do something about me just jumping at you with impunity. And so far has not been able to do that. All the Dolphins, but it causes the combo to tech. And G.Viper now gets out, has the nuke set up, and kedako going to have to earn the way back in once more.
So hard to do. You thought you got in for a second there, but good option there from G.Viper. Finding the space. Yeah, the try harder coming out in the background. Like, all right, you know, I will try harder. Let's make some more nukes.
goes up to block the Dolphins. It catches with the 2H, but not a counter hit, and now kedako is in. All right, going for the full loops, and now what's the play? Cross-ups, blocked, goes in with the force break, baits the dead angle, but no punish.
This is your last chance, kedako. You've got to find the opening here. The backdash gets called out beautifully,
Wow.
and we are going to last round.
What a great read from kedako. Says, you're going to wake up backdash, I'm going to wait, stick out an active button, and collect my round, and we are final game, final round.
They're really saying, stop it.
Both burst back online. G.Viper in the corner, but has just enough room, but the Dolphins earn. Baits the burst, and we are in, and kedako suddenly back in control.
Yo, hold up, be cooking.
Be careful, that stun meter. Justice, and it's a stun, and that's gonna be a wrap.
Wow. I think we got some discount tickets to SeaWorld, and kedako bought them all up on that last round. What a fantastic display of offensive pressure in the final moments of that set.
I really, really applaud kedako for not breaking away from the game plan. Like, yes, you get down to set point, you're starting to question decision making a little bit. You're like, all right, just stick with the plan. It got me this far. Keep setting the hoop. Keep trying to hold that spacing down, not concede max screen. And you saw it. Gets to the corner. The Dolphins were what allowed the offense to start. Just waited out the turn. G.Viper trying desperately to just be like, you can't get through these nukes. They're right here. They're right here. And then the Dolphins come out. It's like, oh no. And at 5D, lots of damage. And now you're playing the guessing game. And kedako able to close that out with, again, sticking the game plan. That is one of the hardest things to do in fighting games sometimes. Sticking your game plan when you're rolling, that's easy. Like,
oh yeah, it's like, I'm a genius.
Yeah,
I'm the best there ever was. You're on the metronome. You're in the we so back. But once you get into the, it's so over. Like you said, it's very hard to have the confidence. But I think what we learned today, when in doubt, double down.
Yeah, and kedako, again, been doing this a long time and says, nah, my process is tried and true. I have one of these titles on my shelf. I have a trophy from this event on my shelf.
Yeah, let's pull it out real quick. Put it on the table.
So
That's what these players got to start doing. Just bring the accolades to the setup. Let them know what's going on.
So yeah, really good stuff there
was
for both
great.
players. So G.Viper not down yet. That was another winner's final set. So G.Viper will be going down to the loser side, trying to get out. I think we're doing 3 out again, so most likely is out on loser side, going the top 48. So, and kedako will be on the winner's side. No surprise there. So we already have 2 OG Japanese Guilty Gear veterans punching their tickets to top 48. So,
which is great to see.
Buckle up. It's going to be, it's only going to get more wild from here. Once we really start getting in there.
And this game's so sick.
You're going to see some crazy stuff today.
It's so easy to forget how sick this game is until you see a set like that. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's why we play this game.
Yeah,
that right there.
Yeah, and again, like, no life lead is safe in Guilty Gear. It doesn't matter what characters are on the screen. You have to finish the job, because even the characters that maybe don't have the highest proficient offense in the game, if they get rolling, momentum swings on a dime in this game. And if you lose control, it can be real difficult to wrench it back from your opponent once they feel like they can run their game.
I feel like momentum is an interesting concept in fighting games, because of course there are states where like you've got your opponent in the corner. That's not what we're talking about, right? Like that's not momentum. That's having a genuine advantage. It's more of that, like the feeling yourself that we were talking about a minute ago. Where are you on the pendulum swing? Are we so back, or is it so over? Having that confidence, feeling aware, feeling like you're in your opponent's head and you can just tell what they're going to do is such a difficult thing to describe to people outside of the FGC. As you talk about it and like, but you're in neutral. How does someone have an advantage?
Right.
Well, that last round, that's how.
Yeah, and sometimes, you think momentum, it's like, okay, I'm running my game, I'm controlling. Sometimes momentum is just realizing the nerves have kicked in for your opponent. Maybe they made a drop, maybe they made a bad read, or maybe they're just suddenly playing passive because they have a big life lead and they're like, all right, I just have to not be overly aggressive. I have to just
don't mess up.
Don't take big risks, and I'll close this out. It'll be fine. And sometimes you notice that, and it's a very different story. So we are going back in. Our defending Frosty Faustings champion back up on the sticks. Jacobpat going to be taking on Nostalgia Crit. We are going in Robo versus Testament.
I'm so down to see more Robo-Ky. Such a fun, goofy character. The number of petitions I've seen to get this character into Strive, and for good reason. I mean, look at that. My man, he just turned on the afterburners to basically dash attack you.
And I like this. I like the process here from Nostalgia Crit, just saying, you know what? you can't set up nets if I don't ever let you breathe in the first place. So I applaud the idea here. And right now, that's a decent little bit of a momentum going, just as we talked about, but
we did see a little bit of the downside of that, which is the almost instantaneous overheat.
Yes,
having to back off there, being so careful. You've got resources, but Jacob's got you in the corner.
I like this. Jacobpat keeps it simple, doesn't try to go for a flashy combo, says, let me set Master of Puppets. You're poisoned. Now I do the real combo because all this poison is unscaled, bucko.
Yep, and you're holding that EX tree as well out of the corner to even get into that situation because of the Master of Puppets.
Yep.
Such a powerful situation as far as resources for Jacobpat to be into.
Legitimately one of the strongest win conditions in the entire game that has a boatload of strong win conditions. But Jacobpat is on it right now. Set the EXE beast. Nice backdash, though. Does get out, and that's a trade in Nostalgia Crit's favor, but
I feel like we're seeing the momentum, right? Baiting out your opponent's burst that confidently. The dash back, dash right back in. Hold these keys to success right now.
Yeah,
you are on a tick of health. Oh, and a skull for your trouble. There you go.
I was going to say, Master of Puppets only hit once, so down one of the empowered trees, but it doesn't matter when you have the corner in that life lead. And Jacobpat able to kind of, you saw an initial run there. The Nostalgia Crit goes, I'm going in. I'm not going to let you play the game. And Jacobpat just like,
no, you're not.
That's fine. We'll get going. I got time, my friend.
We'll talk it out.
Yep.
I'm drawing up the contract.
Nice use of warrant. What if the character with really good buttons and incredible screen control also had a frame 2 counter? What if +R? All right.
Yeah, I feel like they need it.
Yeah, right? Oh, little bit of a mistime on the command grab, and Nostalgia Crit gonna pay for it. Into the EX ability. Nice super DP to get out of the mix-up. What's the play?
Ooh, going for a bait on that jump in. Just an empty jump there, but Jacob's like, okay, if you're not pressing, I'll press. It's my turn now.
Almost certainly realized that they didn't have a chance. No real good way to set up a meaty bazooka there, which means warrant is on the table. And if warrant's on the table, you have to respect it.
No.
So went for the jump and pays for it, but
again, another missed burst there. That is so tough for Nostalgia Critic. You do not have the resources to work with. Look at all these meters, all of them so low, except that trusty little wrist gauge.
Yeah, and if it had not gotten opened up there, about to overheat, Jacobpat just rolling now, looking to close this set out.
This is pain.
Yep, all three gonna plant the tree, and now, how you getting out, my friend? Nope, Jacobpat says this is a no-fly zone, good sir, and I'm going to send you back up. Went for the gold burst to challenge the burst out.
Mean.
That is how you know you're...
You see him pointing at him like, you did that.
Yeah, this is how you know your champion is feeling it. We saw Jacobpat's first set, that first game, a little rough, not clean, not crisp, not set up. And then he's like, yo, I'm the champ. Like, sit down, son.
Yeah, he hit his anime arc.
Yeah, exactly.
He felt it in his bones.
In about 30 minutes. That's all. We time skipped that fast.
Yeah, he hit his Ash Ketchum.
So, really good stuff from our champion, Jacobpat. Again, I really like the, oh, you just want to run at me? Okay, I got answers.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I got buttons. I got net, That's what makes Testament so scary in this game. Testament doesn't need to be at a specific screen space to enact their game plan. All they need is for you to make one mistake, because a knockdown, even if you can't go into Master of Puppets, let's say you haven't built up 50% yet, a knockdown is EXE beast picks up. Some of the most dominant Okazeme in the entire game. You get opened up again, you are guaranteed that Testament is built 50% now, and if they hit their combos, and the good ones all do, then you're going to be in the corner. Master of Puppets is out. You are now in one of the most adverse possible positions you can be in all of +R. And we saw, could not work around it. And most players can't. It is really, really, I cannot overemphasize how disadvantageous it is to be put in the corner against Testament and know there is a giant sequoia in the ground waiting to poison you if you go anywhere near the county line.
And we saw exactly the outcome of that, right? Like, you have to super jump air dash over it and hope for the best. And so Testament just follows you, because if you hit that tree, they've got plenty of time to react and do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's even more of a problem for Robo-Ky. Robo-Ky has mobility with meter, spinning force break, doing stuff like that. Robo-Ky's innate mobility is not great. So,
ooh, we're finally seeing some Jam gameplay.
So, interesting enough, sweetxjam plays Jam in Xrd, but not in +R. Gonna face their own character. We have not seen Jam all day, so get ready. Jam.
Hit you with the Remember Me.
Yep. All right, and Puffball, we started out, baits a bad burst already, and the cards are online. all three are ready to go, and do not get hit by any of those. They're going to hurt. And Mar out the gate.
Both of these characters are going to be looking for situations where they can get their win condition started, whether it's the blood pack, whether it's the cards. In this situation, it is very much the cards that are going to take the W, as this first round looks like it's kind of walking away.
Ghost drop, can we get it? Tries to catch the super, but yep, just go up and tick throw. I really love that Mar went up and just did meaty 5H. Not 6H, meaty 5H goes, I think you're going to try and backdash or do some hoopty stuff to try and get Moroha, turns it around. Just says, nah, just meaty right in your face.
Well, things turned out quickly this time around. That super early key grab, and you can see, again, right, the ABA win condition. You don't get to play the game unless you get Moroha mode, and this time around, sweetxjam managed to pull it off.
Yeah. Jam is one of the few characters that can challenge ABBA up in the air, though. She has amazing buttons on air and gets hit by Goku Moroha. Oh, the drop, though. That could have closed it out. Wow, card right there with Goku Moroha, A.B.A. in your face. That is bold, my friend.
You got to take the risk, right? I respect that. However, the risk did not pay off, and the reward is unfortunately going to be your death.
I love this. That was so smart. I know a lot of you are like, why didn't he just do 4 force break DP? Because it has super armor, my friends. If sweetxjam went for a hero burst there, it was not going to work. So that was incredibly smart by sweetxjam. Sorry, Mar went for a burst. Why do you have why is sweetxjam not playing jam?
Right? It's so confusing.
Brother, I am not awake yet, and you're asking me to do this.
It's like people who play one game and they make it their Twitter handle, and then they pivot, and it's just confusing forever.
Look, commentators get mixed too, and frankly, it's really easy to do it.
Yeah, I'd call it the unseeable, but it's literally right there on the screen.
There's a reason we're back here and not on the sticks right now, that's all I'll say. But as we go in the back and forth, one apiece, Ryujin with no punish. That's brutal. Goku Moroha could have been a massive punish, and now down to a third of that Goku Moroha meter. Okay, gets the air grab. Wow!
Oh, but you're going to run out of meter. We saw this earlier in those Testament matches. When do you pull the trigger?
Drops
Not going to get a chance, but you were knocked down, so couldn't do anything with it.
Goku Moroha beats out the puffball, and sweetxjam should close this out. No, doesn't have enough and gets caught with the Ryujin. Wow.
The timings to almost clutch that out, knocking down at the same time that you went out of Moroha. Managed to get right back in, but Mar found a way through anyway.
You saw the exact moment where sweetxjam had a mental lock. They looked at the Moroha meter, saw the combo, and they're like, I have to go up, get the last hit in the key grab. And it's just that slight hesitation, falls out, and it gave Mar just enough breathing room to come back.
It's the scramble right there.
Yeah, bad scrambles, but gets gripped for the trouble. All right, what's the mix-up? I like the delay. Gets poked out. Not quite Moroha stunned, but catches with the Goku Moroha. And now sweetxjam in a dominating position.
Yeah, that's the challenge, right? You have to beat 2 Morohas, essentially.
Yes.
He got the early knockdown sweetxjam side to get into a great spot, but wasn't able to stop the super from coming out. And the result is this horribly scuffed situation that you find yourself in.
Yeah.
No cards.
No cards. No meter, can't follow his defense, and you've got a character with normals that are basically SNK Super Boss normals. And right now, sweetxjam would not, I like it, did not crumble after dropping that game that they know they should have had. So now we're going into parry, all right. Mar's shown we've got the jam skills. Force break puffball, do it again.
I like that dash back timing there, and we doubled down, do it twice, and the air throw as well to get your win condition started into the Goku Moroha. This is terrifying for Mar.
Yeah, that burst doesn't hit, and now sweetxjam with all the momentum, all the tools. Yep, go in, gonna take the knockdown. Oh, went for it again, not able to get it. Does bait out the dead angle, though. Oh, but another drop.
Interesting, okay.
Not like this, not like this, my mans. Not like this.
Wait a second.
Oh no, the stun, and again, sweetxjam unable to convert a round finishing blow, and suddenly Mar on set point. Now, I was about to applaud because sweetxjam, I'm like, you know what? Good job not letting that drop carry over in the next game. Doing it twice, that's a big ass to get out of.
That's really tough.
And now Mar smells the blood.
And you got the breath of fresh air there from Mar, getting at least one of those cards on lock. However, finally, sweetxjam able to get into this round. You've got Moroha, but can you actually do anything with this? We saw what happened last time.
Another drop, and that was about to stun too, so that's a huge drop. But this might just get it. Nope, too far away. Says, I'm just going to go into Moroha. Good call out.
Great
Catches
read.
the Ryujin.
And yeah, that's going to. Oh,
Yep.
I forgot about the burst. But like you're talking about, there are answers to it. Doesn't matter if you get hit. And sweetxjam manages to clutch out that game number 2.
Yeah. When A.B.A is in Moroha mode, one of the most difficult characters to burst in the game. Everything is jump cancelable. Donzai has super armor on it. Like, you really have to know your burst points against Moroha A.B.A. And we saw, even after those brutal drops, sweetxjam is still in this, so we are going back and forth, and frankly, I expect more scrambles at this point.
I'm curious to see if maybe the combo routing ends up changing or not, if there's going to be some fear that you're going to drop it again. Either way, though, had to use that burst early, gets the reversal here. Can you get Goku on? Yes, you can.
That was a crazy interaction of 2 buttons whiffing, but A.B.A in Moroha mode recovers faster, and now that guard gauge, don't get opened up, my man.
It is cranked.
He gets
right
hit.
Now. Oh, no.
Can sweetxjam finish it? sweetxjam is also about out of meter, and if it does not, Blood Pack is going to lose all that life. And again, just not, man, brutal. Absolutely brutal. sweetxjam is like, I should have won this set like 6 times by now.
Man.
And it's now facing down set point. And every time it looks like Mar is getting mauled, I look up, and sweetxjam has done so much damage to himself because they're living in Moroha and Goku Moroha, but are not key grabbing or blood packing out, which means they don't get to recover that health.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times where when we're low on meter, sweetxjam is opting to try to go in and finish their food, and that is what helped Mar close out that last round.
Right.
However, I don't think we're closing out this one.
Again, drops it again with the last pixel of health.
Oh, no. Wait, you're out of FD.
Yep, just
Oh,
trying
no.
to chip it out, just trying to chip it out. Still not there. Gets away.
Ah!
All right, sweetxjam this time did blood pack out, now has a full life meter again. Just needs any straight hit, but Mar just, the literal cockroach. You cannot kill this man.
Well, he definitely gets stronger as he lowers health, that is for sure. You're in a terrible situation here. This is an opportunity, but sweetxjam finds a way through.
I guarantee you sweetxjam just exhaled a sigh. We could hear all the way back here being like, okay, all right, we're in there. I'm back in. I've got Moroha.
My man doing Breath of Asanage in real life.
Yep. Another drop there, but able to anti-air with Donzai, but not able to convert. sweetxjam just not finishing the job here, and see if Mar is going to make him pay for it.
Taking a deep breath. We got one card on the table. Let's see if it's the one we need. It is not the ace of spades that we wanted. Instead, trading out, giving an opportunity for Goku Moroha to really start to put in its work.
Yeah, and Mar will take that trade because it gets a knockdown. A third of that meter is gone. Now has gotten the burst, but eats the wake up to H. Okay, gets escape. All right.
Yeah.
sweetxjam able to get out, recovers a chunk of life, has a blood pack left, so we'll be able to go back into Goku Moroha. But we'll have to get in Moroha with the key grab, and that's asking a lot right now.
Or do you just bet it all on that regular Moroha, right?
Yeah, especially with this little life. But we've seen it's been so difficult. You know it's in sweetxjam's head right now. And Mar now on the verge. What's the play? FB's out. No key grab.
Oh, no. So much to think about here, and I think it might have been a little bit too much. Mar with the comeback, maybe recognizing the mental stack overload, just holding forward, keeping that pressure on, and there was no escape.
Compounding mistakes. You saw sweetxjam doesn't finish the plate. Now you don't have the opportunity to run another mix-up and possibly end it right then and there. Now you're staring down running out of Moroha gauge. All right, I got to get out. I got to blood back out. I can't sacrifice all this life again. That's not going to work. Now I'm down 1 blood. I've got 1 blood pack. You have to use a blood pack to do Goku Moroha, the install super, which is it is the win condition. It is what makes A.B.A. what she is in this game, which means now to get back into Moroha mode in the first place, you have to chase down Jam and get a key grab. And we saw
good luck with that.
Too much to do. Again, finish your plate. If you do not finish your plate, you will be punished in this game. We saw it. sweetxjam probably won 6 games that set, but only able to actually cash out 1 of them.
Which is such a tough situation to be. Like, the mental damage that causes as you're continuing to go. That was winner's side, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're still in it, still an opportunity, but now you've got to go down to losers. You've got to start all over on your fight to make it out of pools, and you're going to be thinking that mental dooming, you got that memory of a goldfish really has to come in to keep the positive we are so back energy.
Yep. Fighting games there's a lot of execution, there's a lot of practice. Mental fortitude is at the top. When you're actually on the sticks at a tournament, it's all about
all
output.
up here.
Up here. And that is going to bring us to the end of this block of pools, friends. We are going to run some ads. We'll get set up for more Plus R action. It's going to be going all day. Don't go anywhere. Lentini, pleasure to work with you, good sir. Anything to add before we get out of here?
Dude, thank you for helping hold it down here. It's been a pleasure to work with you, plus our community. Thank you for having me. I hope you enjoyed this. Anybody watching who's thinking about getting into the game, like we said earlier, look up that Plus R Discord. I'm sure someone can help you find it.
$3.
And until next time, y'all have a good one.
Take care, everybody.